watching Philadelphia's NBC 10.
Sunday Morning 6 Variety Review. The Horton Hot Dog Children's Hour. Directed by and with Stanley Rosa.
May 23rd, 1948. The first broadcast by WCAU-TV.
Song of our hour.
The beginning of 50 years with you.
Through the changing faces, change of the times, we're by your side, NBC 10.
God bless Philadelphia.
Whatever it takes, whenever you need
That funniest moment.
That low is Edith, the runway with the girls, all yours.
just like a
And as promised, John.
through the laughter and the song.
President Kennedy died.
Whatever it takes, we're here for you. We've shared the memories, stories of the century. You watched us grow to see our place in history. The anniversary. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes, whatever it takes, we're here for you.
Hello, I'm News 10's Larry Menti.
And I'm News 10's Renee Chenault.
And tonight, past meets present, as we celebrate a major milestone in the history of NBC 10, WCAU's 50th anniversary.
Now, obviously, we can't cover all of the events over the past 50 years, but what we can do is revisit some very special times and the people who helped bring those years alive.
You know, people who made television history at WCAU and people who continue to make television magic right here on NBC 10.
Tonight, we'll take you to Hollywood to meet two WCAU originals. David Crane, son of News 10's Gene Crane and the co-creator of two of NBC's biggest hits.
Yes, oh my God, yes!
And Holly Robinson Peete. She's the star of NBC's For Your Love, the wife of Eagles quarterback Rodney Peete, and the daughter of former WCAU personalities Dolores and Matt Robinson.
I want you to know.
We'll also remember legendary newsman John Vicenda.
It was pretty wild.
Reminisce with Ed McMahon, who got his start in TV right here at WCAU.
And tell you whatever happened to Gene London,
Right on into the general store.
the Pied Piper of an entire generation of kids.
Anything that you're hankering for.
Plus, special appearances by Dick Clark, Kirstie Alley, Anthony Edwards, Matt Lauer, Jay Leno, Brian Williams, the cast of Friends, and more.
And for you trivia fans, get ready for the NBC 10 at 50 flashback.
It's all part of our star-studded tribute to WCAU, celebrating 50 years with you. The history of WCAU is as complex and interesting as television itself. Today, we're NBC 10, owned and operated by NBC. But for many years, we were a CBS station. And in the very beginning, WCAU was owned by a major newspaper, the Philadelphia Bulletin.
And the only man who was here from the beginning and is still here, boy is he ever, is News 10's Gene Crane.
Renee, I can't believe that we're celebrating 50 years. It seems like only yesterday we were doing the 40-year program. Right. I guess the three things that stand out in my mind from those early days. Number one, we really didn't know what we were doing. I mean, there was no book to tell you this is how you do a television program. And of course, it was all black and white. And very significantly, for those of us on camera, it was live. All live. Boy, was it live.
Other candies might taste the same, but they sure don't taste. They might look the same, but... Jerry Harris.
I had a few programs of my own in those days.
Hey, fellas. Hey, wait a minute. Where you going with that? We're taking this case to court.
This was Candy Carnival. Channel 10 produced the show from 1949 to 1954, although it didn't always have the same name. In those days, the commercial sponsor of a show touched every part of the program, even the name. We did this one in 1952 and called it candy carnival for the obvious reason. Just look at the set and listen to that handsome young announcer.
Yes, sir. M&M's Candies, the one, the original, the only kind of chocolate treat that's neat to eat, M&M's Candies. All right, that was our second contestant, Sandy Arrington. And the whip lashers for the whip cracking.
That's whip cracking. I've been waiting for 46 years to get that right.
Oh, Gene, you've gotten a lot right over the past 50 years, including raising a son. And, Gene, my gosh, who would have thought that David would grow up to make TV history of his own?
Hooray for Hollywood! You may be homely in your neighborhood.
It's not every dad who gets to go to Hollywood to visit his son on the set of one of television's most popular shows.
Here we go, from the top, please.
But Gene's getting used to it.
David!
Gene's son, David, is the co-creator of two of NBC's hottest hits.
So welcome to the closet. Welcome to the closet.
The Closet is Veronica's, and the sitcom is this season's top-rated newcomer, thanks to its cushy time period between Seinfeld and ER on NBC's must-see TV Thursday night.
So inspired, so devious, yet so simple.
The powerhouse lineup kicks off with another Crane co-creation. Now in its fourth season, Friends is a mega hit, and so is the cast, a very friendly group of 20-somethings who told Gene what it was like working with David.
He's a sweetheart.
No, I'm kidding. I can say something about David, and this is, I think he's probably the most consistent person that I've ever met. He's consistently nice, he's consistently so talented. He's just consistent, and that's one of the best things you can ever count on, to me, in a human being.
Great energy.
They're bright and funny and accessible, and it's always been a very collaborative relationship. I like them as people, so we're very fortunate.
Photographs and memories.
Long before Friends, David's first encounter with television was at the age of 21. Hours, that is. The newborn was featured on WCAU because his parents, Gene and ex-wife Joan, hosted a morning talk show. David grew up with television, but he was more interested in theater. That's why he eventually teamed up with another Philly area native, college friend and creative partner, Marta Kaufman.
So we decided to write a play.
Musical.
A musical, because those are harder, and it just, one thing led to another, and we haven't stopped.
After writing the off-Broadway reviews, personals, and Hey, My Name is Alice, the Philadelphia duo decided it was time to dream on. The successful HBO series made David and Marta one of the hottest creative teams in Hollywood. That led to two less successful shows, including Family Album in 1993, a CBS series canceled after just 6 episodes. The next year, their luck changed dramatically. With the instant success of Friends. And now, their latest series, Veronica's Closet.
Hey, Daddy.
The man who plays Veronica's dad on the show is another Philly native, Robert Prosky. The veteran actor from Manayunk told Gene about his first shot at sitcom success.
It's my first running role in a sitcom. I turned down Cheers.
Kidding.
Early on, when I started to do films, they offered me the coach.
Oh, God, the bartender.
That's right. And I thought, I accepted it, and then I thought, it's a 7-year contract. I'm going to be doing this for 7 years, and I like the part, but I'm not going to like it for 7 years.
Oh, my God.
Prosky's TV daughter, Kirstie Alley, didn't pass on her chance at Cheers.
My underwear's right where it's supposed to be today. Thank you.
And she told us she's thrilled to be the star of Veronica's Closet.
It's just a really good, funny show that we hope we can keep really good and funny for a long time. Yes, yes! Oh, my God, yes!
Much of the future success of Veronica's Closet depends largely on the sitcom savvy of its creative team. That means hard work and long hours for David, Marta, and their 11 writers.
To give you an idea how hard he works, we got here on Thursday, about 2:30 in the afternoon. He had come home from work at 8:30 in the morning, having worked through the night.
Oh, no, we truly all the writers on the show, we put in outrageous hours.
Whenever you are, we're ready.
Thank you. Here we go. From the top, please.
Mark.
Action!
Oh, I can come back.
No, come in. So did you do it?
Yeah.
It's a day job and it's also a night job because we had to run through late in the day and then we're rewriting till midnight or 2 or 4 or 8 to try to get it right. But I love it.
And why not? Dream On and Friends have made David, Marta, and their partner, Kevin Bright, multi-millionaires. As for David's dad, who gets to watch his son's shows on the television station he's worked at for 50 years, well, he's just button-popping proud.
It has to be any parent's dream, you know, that not only did your only child go into the same field that you're in and then achieve this enormous success. This kind of enormous success. Something even you never expected. No.
You can keep it.
On the Warner Brothers lot, not far from the Veronica's Closet set, a new NBC sitcom is in production, and the star, like David Crane, spent her early years at WCAU. Her name is Holly Robinson Peete, wife of Eagles quarterback Rodney, mother of infant twins, and the star of For Your Love. You'll meet Holly a little later on in tonight's show.
Up next, we visit another Hollywood set and a man who was here from the beginning.
Hello, I'm Ed McMahon. Happy 50th anniversary, NBC 10, my old home.
Ed McMahon's Philadelphia story is next. But first, it's time for some TV trivia.
This was the first live Western in the history of television, and it was produced literally in our own backyard. Today, that backyard is the station's parking lot, but in the early 50s, it was the fictional town of Hubberly, Montana. Hello, I'm News 10's Connie Cola. Action in the Afternoon not only aired here in the Philadelphia area, it was also broadcast nationwide on the CBS network.
Everybody see this piece of leather I got here? It's off of somebody's boot, and I'm aiming to find out whose.
Can you guess what year Action in the Afternoon premiered? Was it 1952, 1953, or 1954? We'll have the answer when NBC 10 at 50, an all-star tribute, continues. The Action was at WCAU, a live Western produced in the station's backyard and seen nationally for 2 seasons on the network.
Get the doctor, man, get the doctor.
So, what year did Action in the Afternoon premiere? Was it 1952, 1953, or 1954? The action happened in 1953. 4 years later, another show produced in Philadelphia also went nationwide.
Oh, ain't that a groove? That is a groove. That's a groovy sound.
Back in the 50s, American Bandstand aired on ABC.
Got to be the world's wildest.
But these days, you can see Dick Clark right here on NBC 10, hosting his popular bloopers specials.
Hi, this is Dick Clark. Happy 50th anniversary to NBC 10. It's nice to be part of the family.
Another member of our family is a man who became one of Dick's lifelong friends.
Do I know Ed McMahon? This very day, this says Ed McMahon, answer. He's met this person that needs a job, wants me to give this person a job. Ask McMahon about the job I helped him get.
That job, a game show with Johnny Carson, led to The Tonight Show.
And now, here's Johnny!
And while we know him best as Johnny Carson's sidekick, Ed McMahon got his start in television here at WCAU.
Well, today, Ed McMahon is one of the most recognized personalities on television. And as News 10's Tracy Davidson found out, at the age of 75, he is still going strong.
My dad was a womanizer and a boozer. We were very close.
This year, you could watch Ed McMahon clowning around with co-star Tom Arnold on The Tom Show. But 45 years ago, Ed really was a clown.
The show was The Big Talk, and it aired here on WCAU and on the CBS network.
The minute I put that outfit on, the minute I put this thing on I created and put my makeup on, I could do a pratfall, I could take a pie in the face, I could take seltzer in the face, I could be hit with one of those big wooden paddles. I was a clown, and I love those times. I did that for 8 years. Every Saturday I was a clown. It was wonderful.
Ed McMahon moved to Philadelphia and into television in 1949. He worked at WCAU at the beginning, during TV's golden age. And it was here where Ed quickly became the host, writer, and producer of more than a dozen shows, earning him the title of Mr. Television.
I loved it. I'll tell you why. Because I could do a lot of things experimentally and try a lot of things, and who cared? Nobody knew any different anyway. It was a great, like a potting shed to learn this business. It was wonderful.
In 1952, the Korean War interrupted Ed's career. The dedicated Marine who fought in World War II flew 85 combat missions and rose to the rank of full colonel. When the war was over, Ed returned to Philadelphia and to WCAU, where he hosted 5 Minutes More on the 11 o'clock news with John Facenda. In 1957, thanks to his neighbor Dick Clark,
The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson.
Ed met Johnny Carson. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Here's Johnny.
Those 34 years I spent with him were the most wonderful times you could have. I mean, what a wonderful thing in my life, how lucky I am that I ran into him, that he thought I was the right thing for him, and I thought he certainly was the right thing for me, and I kind of hooked my wagon to a star, as they say, and as he flourished, I flourished right behind him, and it was wonderful.
But all good things must come to an end. And after 6,583 shows, The Tonight Show finally called it a day. Ed and Johnny said goodnight for the last time.
No, thank you.
It's been wonderful. Really, I have to say something. It's just been a joy. I met you and we talked for 7 minutes. I just found out the other day there were 7 other people up for that job, and I got it. I thank you. My family thanks you forever. Thank you, sir.
When the team said their goodbyes on May 22nd, 1992, Ed remained one of America's most recognizable personalities. In fact, he was always on TV, pushing products or hosting the popular syndicated show Ed McMahon's Star Search.
And now the star of Star Search, Ed McMahon!
And if you're in search of anything about Ed McMahon, all you have to do is check out Ed's office in his Beverly Hills home. It is a virtual museum of memorabilia, and his collection of clowns, giraffes, and trains are everywhere, even on the ceiling. Here you can find Ed with Hollywood legends like Frank Sinatra, Jack Benny, and Marilyn Monroe. But it's the photos of his family that mean the most to Ed. He's the father of 5, ranging in age from 50 to 12. The youngest is Ed's adopted daughter, Catherine, who lives with Ed and his 3rd wife, Pam. Ed has always been very close to his children, especially his oldest son, Michael, who died of cancer in July of 1995. It was a devastating blow to a man who thought he had it all.
You don't ever think you're going to bury your son. It happened to Johnny Carson, and he was the first one to call me, by the way, when he died. The first call I got was from Johnny. But other friends of mine, you know, Steve Lawrence, had done anybody that had lost their son, there's kind of a bonding of the fathers that you don't expect. You expect to transfer and pass on whatever you did in your life, hopefully valuable things, to your son, and he'll carry it on. He'll take the torch and go on. That didn't happen with my oldest son.
Despite the personal setback, Ed's love affair with TV continues. But in the end, when all is said and done, how would Ed McMahon like to be remembered?
I don't plan to have a tombstone, but if I had one, what I'd like to have be remembered by, have on my tombstone, he was a good broadcaster and a great Marine.
Ed told us that one of his best memories of his years working here at WCAU was getting to know the legendary newsman, John Facenda.
And Herb Clark, another colleague of John Facenda's, remembers the man who became the voice of an entire generation of news viewers.
Plus, a look at the many changing faces of News 10 when NBC 10 at 50, an all-star tribute, continues.
Happy 50th anniversary, NBC 10.
The year was 1953. WCAU news anchor John Facenda made television history when he launched the country's first full half-hour 11 p.m. newscast. Hello, I'm News 10's Arthur Fennell. Television news has certainly changed over the past 50 years, and so have the personalities. That's why we thought it would be fun to remember together some of the many faces who filled John Facenda's anchor seat following his legendary 25-year reign here at WCAU.
Strike a pose. Strike a pose.
Someone who's worked with all those faces who filled John Facenda's anchor seat since 1973, including Larry and me, is a man who has been a constant through the many changes at WCAU. His name is Herb Clark. Herb first came to WCAU 40 years ago as the Atlantic weatherman, and today, Herb Clark is still part of the NBC 10 family.
Thanks, Renee. I've certainly had the pleasure of working with a lot of talented folks over the years, but I'll never forget the impact that John Facenda had on the people of the Delaware Valley and on me. When I came to WCAU in 1958, John was certainly one of the most respected men in Philadelphia. For most people, John was the first TV newscaster they'd ever seen. And people trusted in what John had to say. I had the feeling that maybe they could sleep easy at night. John had just told them what happened on the day past and what to expect tomorrow.
I want you to know what your loyalty and your friendship have meant to me through those long years.
When John Facenda signed off for that last time as a Channel 10 news anchor in 1973, he did it the same way he lived his life, with grace, style, and class.
Like the down of a thistle.
Born in 1913, John and his family moved to Philadelphia in 1926. He excelled at Roman Catholic High School and entered Villanova to become an engineer, but the Depression ended those dreams. He left school to work with the old Public Ledger newspaper. The Ledger also owned radio station WHAT, and John got his first break in broadcasting when an announcer called out sick. John stepped in and stood out. He took a news job in New York, but soon returned to Philadelphia, and for 17 years he was the magnificent voice of WIP radio.
Then listen to the story of Ruby Watson, in whose heart glows a deathless flame of intense romance.
In 1948, John moved to television. He convinced the managers at WCAU to try something unheard of, a TV news program at 11 o'clock. By 1953, the 11th hour news was the most popular 30 minutes in local TV history. A desk microphone and map with John reading headlines. He became a master at reaching people through the camera. His son, Jack, remembers.
The amazing thing about my dad is the person that I knew as Dad, okay, was the same kind of person that came across on the TV.
The runway with the
okay,
girls.
so that people who said, you know, I like that man, or what a nice man, that was true.
In 1966, another pivotal moment in Philadelphia television, the premiere of the big news, 1 hour, 5 days a week. TV news was growing and changing rapidly. By 1973, John knew it was time to step down.
And to you, my heartfelt gratitude for 25 happy and rewarding years. Be happy for me, because I am content.
But that wasn't the last time Philadelphia heard John Facenda. The booming baritone continued as the lifeblood of NFL films.
This is pro football, the sport of our time.
In the fall of 1984, John was honored at the Philadelphia Emmy Awards. He was in poor health and not able to attend. But his good friend, News 10's Bill Baldini, accepted the Emmy for him.
For you.
John Facenda died a few weeks later on September 26, 1984. He was 71.
There's an old Indian saying about that you're that you're never really gone as long as there's someone alive that can speak well of you. Excuse me.
And the legend lives on. I'm John Facenda.
When John died, I lost a friend, and so did his viewers. Throughout his distinguished career, he connected to those viewers in a very special way. But the thing I think we remember most was his sign-off each night. Have a nice night, and a good day tomorrow.
Thank you, Herb. You know, these days, two of the country's leading newsmen are Brian Williams and Matt Lauer. Both work at NBC News, but as News 10's Sheila Allen Stevens reports, each has a connection to NBC 10.
And good morning. Welcome to Today on this Tuesday morning. I'm Matt Lauer in New York.
Waking up to Matt Lauer every morning on the NBC Today show is not a bad way to start the day.
We're headed down to Florida.
And good Thursday evening to you. A lot to tell you about tonight.
And watching Brian Williams on MSNBC at night definitely makes for sweet dreams.
So what do both of these talented, sexy men have in common? Me. Yes, me. You might say I showed them the ropes, taught them everything they know to make them the network news stars they are today.
Right now it is 5 o'clock. We're live on City Line, and this is it, our first day. We want to welcome you. I'm Matt Lauer.
I'm Sheila Allen Stevens.
The year was 1987. Matt Lauer and I hosted a daily talk show called Live on City Line. If you don't remember the show, you're not alone. Nobody does. We only did 57 programs, and although it was short-lived, Matt says he has no regrets. It was one more important stop on the road to the top job he has today.
I had fun today.
Did you have a good time?
We'll
You'll be back tomorrow, won't you guys?
Philadelphia certainly would be a brick in the foundation that allowed me to get this job right now, and so you have to look at it as a well-rounding experience. If I hadn't done that show, would I have had the interviewing skills? If I hadn't done another show, would I have had the news skills and that sort of thing? So yeah, I think it's as important as any other show. It just didn't last as long as a lot of shows.
But what a difference today makes.
You gotta start with today.
If you have to dream, if you're a broadcaster, and you have to dream about something you'd love to do,
Katie and Matt have that chemistry.
co-hosting the Today Show would be right at the top of the list.
You gotta start with today.
Brian Williams is another top NBC News personality who has come a long way from his days at WCAU. But for Brian, the memories are deep-rooted. He grew up in New Jersey, and his family is originally from the Philadelphia suburb of Glenside.
I had such great memories of Philadelphia from childhood. I was born right after we moved out, but we were always there when I was a kid. Every 4th of July parade through Glenside, New Year's Eve in Glenside. So it was all of my childhood memories.
MSNBC.
Today, Brian's a regular fixture on MSNBC, as well as the network news. But back in 1986, he was a reporter on Channel 10 News.
In Somerdale, New Jersey, Brian Williams, Channel 10 News Update.
At WCAU, Brian covered the New Jersey beat. But the high point of his career here at the station was, of course, working with me. In 1986, we co-hosted a special program showcasing Philadelphia Magazine's Best of Philly edition.
Sheila Allen Stevens and I set out to do the best of Philadelphia. And that opened a whole new world of pizza to me. We discovered Tacanelli's in K&A, and it's brick oven baked. I think we'll have to do some research. My photo was still hanging in the kitchen when I left Philadelphia, and I'll be stunned to learn if it's not there anymore.
Yes, Brian, they still have it, but now that you're really famous, they'd like some money to go along with it. On a serious note, it's nice to know that you and Matt both have fond memories of your early years here at WCAU.
I feel as if part of me is still in Philadelphia, so to all the folks at WCAU, happy 50th anniversary, and here's to 50 more.
This is Brian Williams of NBC News wishing all my friends at WCAU a very happy 50th.
The year was 1953, and believe it or not, that's a young Edward R. Murrow. In the early days of his career, the legendary news journalist hosted a weekly kids show for WCAU, shot on location at the Philadelphia Zoo.
This is better than being in school doing arithmetic, isn't it, Glenn?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm News 10's Ken Matz. Children's television has been with us since the beginning, and it didn't take long for the kids to get hooked. By the late 50s, the average baby boomer was watching the tube 7 hours a day, a total of 24,000 hours by the time they were 18. And if you were one of those kids, here's what you were watching.
My name is Willie, and,
Remember Willie the Worm? How about Pixanne? She hosted her own kids show for 9 years in the 60s.
Fly with me now through my magic forest.
Come right on into the general store.
But the most popular personality in children's television in Philadelphia was this guy, Gene London. You'll meet him in just a minute. But first, can you guess what year Gene London's Cartoon Corners premiered? Was it 1958, 1959, or 1960? We'll have the answer when NBC 10 at 50 and All-Star Tribute continues.
This is snows!
He inspired an entire generation of kids here in the Delaware Valley. But can you remember when Gene London first joined the WCAU family? Was it 1958, 1959, or 1960? Gene London made his Philadelphia television debut back in 1959.
What are you doing?
Has to go.
He has to go.
When I was a kid growing up here in the Delaware Valley, I never missed the Gene London show. It was my favorite show. So if you're like me, you're probably wondering, whatever happened to Gene London? Well, wonder no more. Gene is living in New York City, and he runs a successful supply house for women's fashions. But when it comes to children, Steve Levy found out that this Pied Piper for a generation still has the magic touch.
Hi, you guys. Hi, you girls. It's nice to see you, everybody.
At the age of 67, the kid who never grew up still takes time to return to his roots.
When I was a kid, I wished I could be on TV, and it happened, so it shows you that wishes can come true.
In a recent special appearance at the Afton School in Yardley, Pennsylvania, the timeless talent of Gene London touched a whole new generation of kids.
And when he flaps the wings, he rises up like a bird, and he can fly.
It's a unique talent that those of us over 30 remember this way.
Come right on into the general store. We have licorice, gumdrops, sour balls, anything that you're hankering for, you find in Cartoon Corners General Store.
This is the studio where Gene produced Cartoon Corners. Now it's the news set for NBC 10. But back in the 50s and the 60s, this was a magical place for the kids who grew up in Philadelphia.
I think it's terrible. What do you mean? It's wonderful. It was for me a magic experience. Say goodbye to your friend. I got to do anything I wanted to do, and it was a great success. And that's like an opportunity that comes once in your lifetime.
That lifetime began in 1931 in New York City. Gene was the second of 4 boys born to Izzy and Minnie Eulish. And right from the start, he showed his artistic side, a side that came to life at the age of 16 when Gene took a summer job as a camp counselor in Philadelphia.
I learned everything that summer, and that summer, I really developed into the kid performer, the kid star. So when the chance came to be on WCAU, I was ready.
And so was his audience.
Hi, Mr. Emu. Hi, Gene. How are you?
From the start, Gene was a hit, but he worked hard at it.
Who might that be? I had to work behind the scenes like a dog to try to make my fantasy really come true. That's all. You will not touch him again. I will take him away, far away.
Morning after morning, year after year, Gene aimed for perfection. In its time, Cartoon Corners was recognized as one of the top 10 children's shows in the country. It earned all kinds of awards and won the hearts of hundreds of thousands of children.
I would sit in front of the television and be totally mesmerized by his drawings and his stories. It was almost like something that he would take you on a trip. And it was a wonderful, wonderful trip. It really was.
Gene was a warm human being, and that was a great thing. You don't find that very much anymore.
He had a very calming effect. I remember that now as an adult, being a child sitting there and just being mesmerized and entranced by the stories that he told.
Her name is Brenda. She's 10 years old. And she's deaf. And she's learned sign language. Happy talk, keep talking, happy talk. If it was magic for me, and if it still is, then why wouldn't it have been magic for them? We all want to get lost in someone else's dreams. How you gonna have a dream come true?
And when the dream finally ended in 1974, Gene says he was ready to move on.
Come Saturday morning. I think when I left Cartoon Corners, it was time for me to grow up. The kids had changed, but so had I. Bye. See you
Bye-bye,
next week.
everybody.
Just I and my friend. WCAU, you gave me the best years of my life. Having fun at your station was, for me, a dream come true. Happy anniversary, WCAU.
And thank you, Gene. You meant a lot to those of us who grew up watching you. And one of the kids who appeared on the Gene London show was Holly Robinson.
But today she's Holly Robinson Peete, and she has a show of her own on NBC 10.
And coming up next, you'll meet Holly as NBC 10 at 50, an all-star tribute continues.
Hi, I'm Fred Savage, wishing NBC 10 a happy 50th birthday.
The year was 1966. WCAU launched The Big News, an hour-long broadcast with John Facenda. The program featured Edie Huggins.
Edith, the runway with the girls, all yours.
And as promised, John, a grand finale to our...
As one of the first women in television news and one of the first black reporters in the country, Edie helped pave the way for an entire generation of women journalists.
Hi, I'm News 10's Kathy Egan. From the beginning, Edie Huggins' warmth and personal touch made her a friend to you at home and to many of her colleagues here at WCAU.
One of those co-workers was Matt Robinson. Back in the 1960s, he was the producer of the discophonic scene, a weekly music show hosted by the Geeter with the Heater, Jerry Blavitt. Matt went on to host a kids show here at WCAU, following a successful 3-year stint as Gordon on Sesame Street.
This is Sesame Street. We have a great time here. You come back and join us anytime you want to.
His big break came in 1984 as a writer and producer on one of TV's biggest hits, The Cosby Show.
Now, Matt Robinson wasn't the only star in the family. Matt's pal, Edie Huggins, tells us his wife, Dolores, had a show of her own in the early days of WCAU. And now, almost 30 years later, their daughter, Holly, is starring in her own sitcom. And it airs right here on NBC 10.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because I didn't want to upset you.
What made you think I'd be upset?
Clearly, I was wrong.
That sitcom is For Your Love, an NBC mid-season replacement that premiered on WCAU in March. For Holly Robinson Peete, it was a sentimental connection to the station where she literally grew up.
I first met Holly when she was 4 years old. Since her mom and dad both worked at the station, Holly hung out here a lot, behind the scenes. As a matter of fact, it was in this very studio that the future actress got her first taste of television production.
I just remember running around the halls. I remember just basically growing up on the set and just standing in the makeup room to see who the guests were going to be on all the different shows. And It was just one of a wonderful experience that I have in the back of my head that I'll always, always cherish.
This is really a full cycle for me.
Dolores Robinson is Holly's mom.
Years and years ago to have worked at that station, Holly's father worked at that station, and for us to, you know, hang out there and her as a child be there and then be here talking about WCAU is incredible.
See you later.
Can I come by?
Sure.
Back in the late 60s, Dolores, a Philadelphia schoolteacher, was hosting a public affairs show here at WCAU.
See ya.
But today she lives and works in Los Angeles. It was in 1974, after she and Matt divorced, when Dolores packed up the kids and decided to head off to Hollywood. Well, the move paid off.
Hi, Alice. I'm good. How are you?
The little-known talk show host from Philadelphia ended up with her own entertainment firm, managing some of the biggest stars in show business.
Take 6, all 4 cameras, working.
One of Dolores' clients is Holly.
Sweetie, have you seen the box with my books on?
But Dolores says she never encouraged her daughter to get involved in showbiz.
I wanted my daughter to become a lawyer, and then on to the Senate. And, you know, she was going to be Senator Robinson. I used to call her that. And, you know, lo and behold, look what I got. And what I got is what she was destined to be.
Holly's first major role came in 1986. A few months after being graduated from Sarah Lawrence College, she was winning rave reviews opposite Johnny Depp in 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street.
Hey, yo, what's up? What's my theme music?
In 1992, she was starring in another hit show, Hanging with Mr. Cooper with Mark Curry.
Yo, Coop, you're on. I gotta look good today. Make it lay down, Rob.
It was during the production of Mr. Cooper when Holly met Eagles quarterback Rodney Peete. They were married in 1995. Philadelphia was, once again, a big part of her life. Last October, the Peetes made headlines with the birth of twins. The blessed event happened after Rodney played his first game as quarterback for the Eagles.
The Eagles win! It's good and the Eagles win!
Now, he won the game, but he was worried that he'd lose the chance to see his children being born. You see, the game was here at home. Holly was in L.A.
There was Rodney in the only overtime game, of course, when he's trying to make a plane to get back to L.A. of the season. And he got there by the skin of his teeth. He got a little local Philadelphia police escort. Thank you to the Philadelphia Police Department. And he made it.
6 months later, the babies, a boy, Rodney Jackson, and a girl, Ryan Elizabeth, are doing great. Aside from the twins, Holly's also taking care of her dad, seen here in an interview we did in 1988. Matt Robinson was working on The Cosby Show when he became a victim of Parkinson's disease. And while the debilitating effects of his disorder ended Matt's career, the support of his family got stronger. But it hasn't been easy.
Oh, it's tough. You see your big, strong daddy just get, you know, just little by little, just get slowly and slowly knocked down by this disease. But you become stronger because I take care of my father. You know, he is my dependent, and he's my buddy. And we just, you know, I just help him through it. And like I said, there's a lot worse diseases he could have. And we just get through each day. And my whole goal is to just upgrade the quality of his life as much as I possibly can. If I can do that and just make his years as he gets on, as you know, with as much quality as I can, that's the most important thing.
Holly also wants to help others. That's why the Peetes formed Hollyrod. That's a foundation to raise money for underprivileged people with Parkinson's disease.
For her and Rodney to get together and form a foundation and care about other people with Parkinson's, I think it's pretty phenomenal. I think it just says something about that girl. And I'm telling you, I can take a lot of credit for her, but there are things that I just can't take credit for. I just don't know where she gets that little extra stuff. You know, it's beyond her father, it's beyond me. She's another whole person. She just is.
She certainly is. Holly has come such a long way from that little girl that I remember back here at WCAU, and so is her mom. But they both say they'll always remember where it all began.
I look at WCAU as the base of whatever all of this is, that I've done, and the fun that I've had, and the family that I've raised, my children. We're all thankful because we know basically from where it cometh.
The cycle, I think, is complete, that I have gone from the Gene London Show to For Your Love on WCAU. NBC 10.
Coming up, a look back at some of the real-life moments that have touched and changed our lives.
When NBC 10 at 50, an all-star tribute continues.
Hi, I'm Anthony Edwards, and I'm just here to wish NBC 10 a happy 50th anniversary.
Throughout tonight's 50th anniversary celebration, we've given you a glimpse of our past, some of the programs we've produced, and the personalities who are part of our history.
But we also wanted to take just a few moments to remember the news events, the historic moments that bound us together as a nation.
And as a community.
In 1976, the city where our nation was born hosted the country's 200th birthday bash. Six years later, when Philadelphia turned 300, tall ships from around the world came in a royal procession up the Delaware for a spectacular salute. And in 1987, we commemorated the 200th anniversary of the Constitution.
Over the years, we came together for more than parties and parades.
God bless Philadelphia.
In 1979, when Philadelphia welcomed Pope John Paul II, more than 1 million people turned out to hear his message of peace. But times were not always peaceful. Television also brought the harsh reality of the Vietnam War into our living rooms. By 1991, the news reports were live. The war in the Gulf was not only real, it was immediate. In 1985, the battleground was much closer to home.
The images on our air have reflected tragedy for years.
President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
From a president slain and a dreamer silenced.
Thank God Almighty! Senator Kennedy has been shot.
To the senseless shooting of another Kennedy.
Who did the shooting? Does anybody know?
In 1982, tragedy touched a hometown princess.
And I just can only say thank you with all my heart, and God bless you all.
Only months after a Philadelphia tribute, we said goodbye to Grace Kelly of Monaco, killed in a tragic car accident. 15 years later, a fatal car crash claimed the life of another princess. And this time, the whole world was watching.
And it seems to me you've lived your life like a candle in the wind.
It's one small step for man.
Sometimes, even our triumphs turn to tragedy.
And while we shared the worst of times over this past half-century, we also celebrated the best of times, including live coverage of our championship seasons.
From the Eagles and the Flyers to the Phillies and the 76ers, we were there to capture the winning spirit of Philadelphia.
Through the years, through all the good and bad, I know how much we had.
Through these past 50 years, we've seen it all on the TV screen. 5 decades of triumph and tragedy.
50 years with you.
I'm Renee Chenault.
And I'm Larry Menti. We hope you've enjoyed remembering our first 50 years together.
And more importantly, that you'll be with us for the next 50 years.
For all of us here at NBC 10, good night.
Through the changing faces, change of the times, we're by your side, NBC 10.
My name is Willie.
Whenever you need
And funniest moments, that low hit.
Edith, the runway with the girls, all yours.
just like a friend.
Promise, John.
Through the laughter,
And the legend lives on.
whatever it takes, we're here for you. We've shared the memories, stories of the century. You've watched us grow to see